इसको ऑपरेटर पर you can take it. वृंदावन वासी जत वैष्णवेरागण प्रथम वंदना करी सबार चरण वृंदावन नीलाचल वासी जत महाप्रभुरागण भूमि ते पड़िया वंदन सबार चरण नवदीप वासी जत महाप्रभुरा भक्त सबार चरण वंदन भयानुरक्त महाप्रभुरा भक्त जत गोड़ा देशे स्थिति सबार चरण वंदन करिया प्रणति सबार चरण वंदन करिया जे देशे जे वैसे गौरांगे रगण बाहु करी वंदन सबार चरण जे देशे वैसे हई अच्छे न हई बिना प्रभु रजत दास सबार चरण वंदन दंते करी घास सबार चरण वंदन दंते करी घास ब्रह्मांड तारिते शक्ति धरे जने जाने ए वेदे पुराण गुण गाए जीवा सुने महाप्रभुरा गण सब पतित पावन ताई लोभे मुई पापी लोई नु शरण वंदना करिते मुई कट सती धारी तम बुद्धि दोषे मुई दंभ मात्र करी तथापि मुखेर भाग्य मनेर उल्लास दोष क्षमी मोद में कर निज दास सर्ववांछ सिद्धि है यम बंध छूटे जगत दुर्लभ है प्रेम धन लूटे मनेर वासन पूर्ण आचिरते हया देव की नंदन दास लोभे काया वृंदावन वासी जत वैष्णवेरा गण सबर चरण लही वृंदावन वासी जत वैष्णवेरा गण प्रथमे वंदन कर सबर चरण वृंदावन वृंदावन वासी जत वैष्णवेरा गण प्रथमे वंदन करी सबर चरण First we'll read the meaning of this song and then we'll go for our Bhagavatam sloka. First of all, I offer my glorification to the feet of all the Vaishnavas of Vrindavan. Praising all the Mahaprabhu's Nilachal associates, I prostrate at their feet. I pray for loving attachment to the lotus feet of all the Mahaprabhu's Navadip Bhaktas. I offer pranams at the lotus feet of all the Mahaprabhu's Gaudadesa, Bengal devotees. With upraised arms, I pray to the feet of all the Gauranga's Bhaktas in whichever country they may reside. Holding a straw between my teeth, I submit at the feet of all the servants of Mahaprabhu that were or will be. I have heard their glorification in the Vedas and Puranas, which proclaim that each one of his devotees has the Sakti to deliver an entire universe. Hearing of their glory, I have come with great eagerness to surrender to Mahaprabhu's Bhaktas, who are all Patita Pavana for sinners like me. What power do I have to glorify them, but out of my ignorance and unmitigating pride, I do so anyway, thinking myself so qualified. Even though I am dumb and unable to express their greatness, still my heart is joyful due to my great good fortune that the Vaishnavas have accepted me as their own and Sri Gurudev has given me Harinam full of blissful pastimes. Forgive the faults of this fallen soul and make me your servant. They award the perfection of all desires, including freedom from death and even that rarest treasure not found in this world, prema. All of one's pure, heartful desires will be fulfilled without delay. Devakinandan Das, intensely eager for this, glorifies and prays to the Vaishnavas. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sa Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschat Desitarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto. Not coming. Second canto, 7th chapter, verse number 22. 2:7:22. Font size is okay. छत्रं छहाय विदुनोपभृतं महात्मा ब्रह्मदृग् उजितपथं नरकार्तिलिप्सु उद्यन्त्यसाव अवनीकन्तकम् उग्रवीर्यस् त्रिसप्तकृत्व उर्धार परस्वधेना छत्रं छयाय विदुनोपभृतं महात्मा ब्रह्मदृग् उजितपथं नरकार्तिलिप्सु उद्यन्त्यसाव अवनिकन्तकम् उग्रवीर्यस् त्रिसप्तकृत्व उरुधार परस्वधेना छत्रं छयाय विदुनोपभृतं महात्मा ब्रह्मदृग् उजितपथं नरकार्तिलिप्सु उद्दन्त्यसाववनिकन्तकम् उग्रवीर्यस् त्रिसप्तकृत्व उरुधार परस्वधेना छत्रं छयाय विदुनोपभृतं महात्मा ब्रह्मदुर्ग उजितपथं नरकार्तिलिप्सु उद्दन्त्यसावमनिकण्टकम् उग्रवीर्यस् त्रिसप्तकृत्व उरुधार परस्वधेना छत्रं छयाय विदुनोपभृतं महात्मा ब्रह्मदृग् उजितपथं नरकार्तिलिप्सु उद्यन्त्यसाववनिकण्टकम् उग्रवीर्यस् त्रिसप्तकृत्व उरुधार परस्वधेना माताजी से word to word meaning. Chatram, the royal order. Chayaya, for the sake of diminishing. Vidhina, by destination. Upabhritam, increased in population. Mahatmaha, the Lord in the form of great sage Parasuram. Brahmadruk, the ultimate truth in Brahman. Ujita Patham, those who have given up the path of absolute truth. Naraka Artilipsu, desires to suffering pain in hell. Uddhanti, exalts. Aso, all those. Avanikantakam, thorns of the world. Ugraviryaha, awfully powerful. Trisapta, thrice 7 times. Kritvaha, performed. Urudhara, very sharp. Paraswadhena, by the great chopper. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the ruling administrators, who are known as the Kshatriyas, turned astray from the path of the absolute truth, being desires to suffer in hell, the Lord in His incarnation as Sage Parasuram uprooted those unwanted kings who appeared as thorns of the earth. Thus, he thrice 7 times uprooted the Kshatriyas with his keenly sharpened chopper. Purport. The Kshatriyas or the ruling administrators of any part of the universe, either on this planet or on other planets, are factually the representatives of the Almighty Personality of Godhead, and they are meant to lead the subjects towards the path of God realization. Every state and its administrators, regardless of the nature of administration, monarchy or democracy, oligarchy, oligarchy or dictatorship or autocracy, have the prime responsibility to lead the citizens towards God realization. This is essential for human beings, and it is the duty of father, spiritual master, and ultimately the state to take up the responsibility of leading the citizens towards this end. The whole creation of the material existence is made for this purpose, just to give a chance to the fallen souls who rebelled against the will of the Supreme Father and thus become conditioned by material nature. The force of material nature gradually leads one to a hellish condition of perpetual pains and miseries. Persons going against the prescribed rules and regulations for those in conditioned life are called Brahmojita Pathas, or those going against the path of absolute truth, and thus they are liable to be punished. Lord Parasuram, an incarnation of personality of Godhead, appeared during such a state of worldly affairs and killed all the miscreant kings 21 times. Many Kshatriya kings fled from India to other parts of the world at that time. And according to the authority of Mahabharata, the kings of Egypt originally migrated from India because of Parasuram's program of chastisement. The kings or administrators are similarly chastised in all circumstances whenever they become godless and plan a godless civilization. That is the order of the Almighty. Hare Krishna. So first of all, I seek blessings of all the devotees here, all the senior devotees and all other devotees, that I can speak something in glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam and in glorification of our Parampara. So, if you see this particular section here, in this particular chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, all the scheduled incarnations with the specific functions are being described here. So, in this particular today's sloka, actually, the incarnation of Parasuram is being described here. Parasuram is actually, he represents the Samhar Shakti of the Lord. So he is Satyavesh avatar, but he is Lord Vishnu himself. So in Satyavesh also there are two types. One is Satyavesh, where the living entity is empowered with a specific power, and another one is the Lord himself comes as Satyavesh. So here actually the Lord Vishnu himself. So he is Vishnu Tattva, who is coming as an incarnation, and he represents the Samhar Shakti of the Lord actually. So we'll see little, the background and the history of the birth of Parsuram, and then we'll discuss about the purport. And then towards the end we will discuss about the qualities that are required to go back home, back to Godhead actually. So, how Parasuram was born, that is also a great mystery actually. Many times actually, people, they get mesmerized by the modern day, so-called TV, serials and other things. But if we read, the stories that are given in Srimad Bhagavatam or, Mahabharata or Ramayana, we will be completely mesmerized actually, that how these great pastimes are taking place, and that's the real story. These are not some concocted ideas of some conditioned soul like that. So the birth of Parasuram is a great mystery, how Parasuram was born in a Brahmana family and having Kshatriya qualities actually. So this parampara of how Parasuram appeared. So his father was Jamadagni actually. So Jamadagni and Renuka, they were together, but their father, Jamadagni's father, he was Richika Muni. So this Richika Muni was a Brahmana, but he desired to marry a Kshatriya girl who was daughter of Gadi. Gadi was a king actually, and his sister or his daughter's name was actually Satyavati. So this Richika Muni was attracted towards Satyavati, and he said that I want to marry your daughter. He went and approached Gadi and said that I want to marry your daughter. So then Gadi Muni, he was Kshatriya, he placed a condition that if you want to marry my daughter, then you have to get 1,000 horses, all white in color. But their left, their one of the ears should be that, black. The horse should be completely white, but the, ear should be just, black. Like that he desired. So then, very difficult condition, right? All, complete white horse, only black part should be on the ear, right? Like that. So then, this Richika Muni actually he pleased Varuna, and from him he got these 1,000 horses. So he gave these 1,000 horses to, Gadi, and in turn, he got married to his daughter Satyavati actually. So from combination of Satyavati and Richika, actually Jamadagni was born. But before that, actually, this Satyavati, actually since he got married to a great sage, Richika Muni, so his mother, Satyavati's mother actually, or the wife of Gadi actually, she got to know that actually a powerful, Brahmana. So she came to meet, Satyavati, and that time both of them they decided that since your husband, Richika is a great sage, and he can give some, he can do some yajna, and by which we can get powerful sons, both of us. So then, they requested, Richika Muni that can you please perform some yajna, special, oblations by which we can get, powerful sons like that. So then Richika Muni agreed, okay, no problem, I will do that. And Richika Muni did that yajna. But after doing yajna, actually he got the payasam, and payasam was kept and it was divided into two parts, because Satyavati's mother was coming in the dynasty of Kshatriyas. So for her actually he made the payasam in such a way that actually the son born will be actually a Kshatriya. Whereas for Satyavati he decided that the son born will be a Brahmana. But as Richika Muni performed this yajna and he went out to perform his duties actually. So the wife of Gadi, or the mother of Satyavati, she was little insecure. So she thought the husband is always more affectionate towards his wife. So he will have Satyavati will have a more powerful son actually than my son. So she told Satyavati that anyway you are my daughter, and you are all Brahmanas, and we are going to be Kshatriyas. So the son who is going to be born from me should lead the entire universe like anything like that. So she went and told that actually we exchange the payasam that you are supposed to eat, I will take, and the payasam that I am supposed to take, that you take. So Satyavati being daughter, she agreed, okay, no problem, I will agree to your plan. So she agreed to the plan of the mother, and both of them they consumed, each other's, payasam. Meanwhile, Richika Muni came, and he was very unhappy, seeing this situation, because actually the Kshatriya will be born in Brahmana family and the Brahmana will be born in Kshatriya family, completely different situation. So he said actually whatever you have done, accordingly the things will take place. The Sri Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki ja, Sri Sri Gaurangi Bengaloreshwar ki ja, Sri Sri Nitai Chaitanya Bhagavan ki ja, Srila Prabhupada ki ja. So he said that whatever I have promised, accordingly only the sons will be born. So both Satyavati and his mother actually they went and fell at the feet of Richika Muni, saying that please forgive, please don't do this, kind of thing for us. Then Richika Muni said that anyway whatever has taken place will take place, but I can just pass it to the next generation. The son born of Satyavati and Richika, he said that the son will be Brahman, but the grandson will be Kshatriya in qualities like that. So that is why Satyavati, and Richika, their son was Jamadagni, who married Renuka, and their son was, the 10th son was, the youngest son was Parasuram, who was Kshatriya in qualities actually. So, this is how actually Parasuram was born. And now we know the story that how Parasuram was born, and after that, one day actually Jamadagni was, performing his regular, duties, but this Kartiviri Arjun, he happened to come to that particular place along with his, army of 17 Akshoni Sena. Now 17 means it is like in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, 18 Akshoni Sena, took participation. But, 17 Akshoni Sena actually came there at the, hermitage of this sage. And they said that can you, you might be having some well, can you please, fetch some water for us for drinking. He said, why water? I'll give you full-fledged feast only. So, they said, Arey, you are a poor sage, how you will arrange such a, nice feast for us? But then he said, not a problem, I will arrange for you. So then, he had the, cow, Kamdenu. So, Kamdenu cow along with the calf was there, and, Jamadagni ordered. So, big delicious feast came actually for all the, entire army of this Kartiviri Arjun and entire army ate. After eating, actually, Kartiviri Arjun became little, greedy. This is the nature of the material world, actually. Anybody who has something good, people will be always envious, actually. In the material world, this is always we see. Somebody has something, better than us, people will be generally envious of that. So, sometimes we see that, advertisements also comes like this, Onida.tv, owner's pride, neighbors envy, like that, So, Sometimes, people purchase big car thinking that we will impress everybody else. Others, they may praise it. Oh, such a nice car, very nice car you are having. But, they will be envious actually. Internally, they will be feeling envious like that. Sometime like in the college time, when seniors or, fourth years, they get placed, and, somebody gets placed in tier 1 company and his friend gets placed in tier 2 company. Then, अरे मैं कैसे हो गया tier 2 में placement, even though they might be practicing Krishna consciousness. So I am telling for myself, when I was there in NITK actually, one of my friend, he got placed in tier 1, and that too he was a devotee, staying with me only. So I said, I may not go for tier 1, but I should also get tier 1 company. Just, this is the nature of material world actually like that. So till the time he was not placed, I was not at all insecure. Nothing was there actually. It was okay, no problem. Normal friendship is only going on. But more insecurity arised when as soon as he got placed in tier 1 company. So then, little more working hard so that, we can get tier 1 company and things like that. So these are all like, foolish competitions that are going on in the material world actually. People simply waste time in these things. After, going through that experience, I realized I simply wasted so much time actually just to get the tier 1 company, and then I did not join also. Like that. Because I had some different plans. So, this, Kartiviri Arjun became actually envious of Jamadagni, and he said, why you are a poor Brahmana, why you need, this, cow. I will take this cow and I will perform, Agnihotra Yajnas and things like that. I will become more powerful. So by force actually he took, the cow. Jamadagni, if he wanted actually, he would have defeated, the king, but he did not, he was not wanting to take the role of Kshatriya actually. So he said, not a problem. With his, painful heart, in front of him only the cow was taken away. And the cow was crying, "Oh master, please protect me." But Jamadagni was not in a, mood, in that situation to protect. Meanwhile, Parsuram comes from the forest and he gets to know that actually, the cow is being taken by force. And so, Parsuram becomes hot like iron. So he goes with his chopper actually, in the kingdom of Mahismati. So Mahismati was ruled by actually this king, Kartiviri Arjun. So he goes there and he declares out. And he was effulgent like a sun, and his, body was also very huge, very big personality, Parsurama. So he goes and says that you please return back the cow, otherwise you will be finished. So then, Kartiviri Arjun was very, fearful, seeing, Parsuram's effulgence and things like that he may kill me and things like that. But he was thinking, I am also no lesser, I also got benediction from, Dattatreya. So Kartiviri Arjun actually worshipped Dattatreya, and that's how he got 1,000 arms and the power and things like that. So he said, I am also no lesser. He sent his entire army of 17 Akshohini Sena to fight with Parsuram. Parsuram went and, with his chopper, he finished entire, 17 Akshohini Sena, and there was a river of blood actually. Just imagine, all are, their heads and their legs and their arms and, everything is flying in the sky. So there was a, river of blood like that. And that is what Parsuram created. And then Kartiviri Arjun himself came actually for fighting. And as he came actually with his 1,000 arms, 500, bows and, arrows he took, and he was shooting 500 arrows at once at Parsuram. Parsuram took his chopper and he was, fighting with, Kartiviri Arjun. And he cut off all his 1,000 arms first. And then later on he cut off his head also. He beheaded him. Now Kartiviri Arjun was killed. And Kartiviri Arjun had actually, 10,000 sons. All these 10,000 sons were also fighting simultaneously with Parsuram along with Kartiviri Arjun. And as soon as they saw that actually Kartiviri Arjun is, killed, they all fled in fear actually. They ran away. So then Parsuram goes and gets the cow and brings back to the house of Jamadagni. So Jamadagni, he sees that, he sees that actually the cow is being brought back to house. So he was happy. But when he got to know that actually the Kartiviri Arjun is a Kshatriya, he is ruling over the kingdom, or he is ruling over, the place. So he said that actually he is, Kshatriya and he is ruling over the kingdom. So it is not right to kill the Kshatriya actually. So there, Jamadagni says that to kill a Kshatriya or a ruling king is more sinful than killing a Brahmana actually. Like that he says to Parsuram, and he says that you should atone for it and you should go and perform austerities. So Parsuram goes for performing austerities. And, he performs austerities for a long time and comes back. Meanwhile, these 10,000 sons of Kartiviri Arjun, they were very envious, So they were very envious of, Parsuram and his father. So they got to know that actually this cow and this Parsuram is the main cause. So he has killed our father, we will also somehow or other, we will kill his father. But till the time Parsuram is there, they cannot approach. So one day they got to know that actually Parsuram is not there. But before that actually one more incident has taken place. One day, the wife of Jamadagni, Renuka, she went to bring some water actually, from one particular pond, and there some Gandharvas had come, and this Gandharva, Padmavali is name actually. He was sporting with his girlfriends there actually. So seeing this that particular scene and things like that, Renuka gets attracted towards this beautiful effulgent Gandharva actually, and she forgets actually that she is supposed to take the water. Then she reaches late for the yajna for which actually the water was supposed to be brought or collected. And she got to know that actually my husband, since he will get to know the situation, so she comes and she puts her head down, and she was folding her hands and she was begging forgiveness. But Jamadagni immediately ordered his sons that please remove head of your mother. And the 9 sons, they denied that no, we can't do this. And then Parsuram, he told Parsuram, Ram, please remove, kill all your brothers and your mother also. So knowing the power and the power of the austerity of Jamadagni, actually Parsuram finishes all of them. Actually he cuts off the head of mother also and the 9 brothers also. So then Jamadagni was very pleased and he said, please ask a benediction. So then Parsuram says, please bring back them to the life and make them forgetful that also that I have killed them, so that they don't remember. Otherwise the mother remembers, he only has killed me, like that. So Parsuram was very intelligent. So he knew this, that actually my father will be pleased. That's why he killed. Otherwise one should not take like this kind of actions. So, and it was for higher purpose actually. But actually, since Jamadagni also did this mistake, actually for him also the reactions were supposed to come like that. So one day actually Parsuram was out with his brothers. Meanwhile, actually the sons of Kartiviri Arjun, they came here to the house of Jamadagni. So they killed Jamadagni. They took the head also with them, because they knew that in case if they keep the body here, somehow or other Parsuram will bring back his father. So they took the head also with them and they killed. And that time actually this Renuka was crying and pleading that please do not do this heinous act of killing a Brahmana. And he is a Brahmana. If he wants, actually he can finish you with his just Brahman thread only. But they did not hear. They just actually killed actually. Then Parsuram comes back and he becomes furious, and he gets to know that all the Kshatriyas are corrupted. So then he goes with the chopper. All 10,000 sons of this Kartiviri Arjun, he killed them and he piled their heads. Actually, he piled their heads, and then he performed one particular yajna there, and then he brought back his father actually back to life. Parsuram, by his prowess, like that. He was so powerful actually, like that. So, just imagine 10,000 heads are there and he made a head, mountain out of it. So all the Kshatriyas, they were very powerful, and that time he takes, wow, now all the Kshatriyas are corrupted and I am going to finish them all of them. So 21 times actually he freed the entire earth actually of the Kshatriyas actually. And then he donated it to all the Brahmanas actually, whoever was doing the yajna and other things like that. All to, everyone to the Brahmanas, he donated the entire, land actually. And nothing was he kept with himself. So he was staying on, Mahendra mountain. And then eventually then Parsuram, comes one time actually when, Lord Ram was there. So this is, in the time of Treta Yuga. So Lord Ram was there and he was getting married, and while going along with Mother Sita actually, he gets to know that actually Lord Ram has broken the Shiv Dhanusa. So he becomes very angry, Parsuram. And Parsuram had actually Vishnu Dhanus, which was given by his father actually, by his great father, and like that. So he said that, in case you are powerful, I am going to kill you, that is for sure. But I will fight with you, provided first of all you can, tie the, pratancha of this particular Vishnu Dhanus. Then I will consider you that you are qualified to fight with me. So then Lord Ram takes the Dhanus and he ties the knot, and then he says, now what should I do with this? Now should I kill you, or should I, he did not say like this. He said that should I kill, or should I stop your movement, or should I kill all the planets that you have created by your mystic power? And then Parsuram sees the Kaustubha sign on the chest of Lord Ram, and then he understood that Lord Vishnu himself has come in the form of Lord Ram. So then he says that please don't stop my movement, because I have given the entire land in charity, and before sun sets I am supposed to go to the Mahendra mountain. That's the vow I have taken. Before that I want to go away, but you can, if you want, you can destroy my false ego by destroying all the planets that I have created by my mystic power. So then Lord Ram takes that bow and arrow, and he finishes all the mystic planets which Parsuram has created by his mystic power. So this is the story of actually Parsuram. So Parsuram was very powerful actually, and he did it actually just to free the earth actually from the corrupted power of Kshatriyas, like that. So wherever actually, whenever the Kshatriya they get puffed up of, or they do not respect the Brahmanas, actually Lord Ram comes himself, or Lord Parsuram comes himself, and he finishes like that. So we can learn many lessons from this particular pastime. First thing is that lesson that we learn from this pastime is actually never misuse the property of Brahmanas. See, Kartiviri Arjun, he became greedy, and he was trying to take the property of whom? Jamadagni, and in turn he was finished. What to speak of, taking the property of a Brahmana? One should not desire to take back what, somebody has given something to a Brahmana in charity, or somebody has desired to give something to a Brahmana in charity. One should never desire to, take that back. That's what we see in, pastime of Prabhupada also. When Prabhupada has written many letters. In Vrindavan also, when he got the land, actually, then they were not, they were trying to take back. Then Prabhupada wrote the pastime, that, you should not take back. From Krishna book, he wrote the pastime as it is. He dictated and he told that actually what was the result, that has taken place previously in the scriptures. Also, somebody has taken back the property of the Brahmanas, actually, like that. So in case if somebody takes the property of Brahmana, actually, his, the scriptures, they say that his 21 generations are going to be suffering. So not only his 21 generations are going to suffer. That is the result of taking, the property of a Brahmana. That is why in the ancient time, actually, the temple would be the, biggest property in the temple, entire area, and generally they will not be having big locks and things like that. They will have big doors and things like that, but people generally will not, encroach on the property of, the Brahmanas and the cows specifically. Like if I go to, like if you go to Rajasthan and these places, North India specifically, so there are, in every village there are johadas, or, the place where, the cows are going to eat the grass. So these are the, places which are left by the kings. And now also actually the, local people, they don't encroach on that property, because they know that actually it is meant for the cows. And in case if they are going to take it back, or they are going to encroach on this property, then, they are going to seriously suffer some consequences like that. So next to my house also a big empty land is there. In that government school and other things are there. But none of the neighbors are actually desiring to take that property. Of course, now as Kali Yuga is proceeding, actually the government is only taking over that and building some things and all. And there are some other corrupted politicians also who are trying to take the property from there and all like that. But generally, those who are men of character, actually they will never abduct the property of Brahmanas like that. And specifically that is meant for propagating Vedic culture like that. So we should understand this. Even the Britishers also followed to some extent this. Like you might be knowing, the pastime, of, I'm forgetting the name of the sage actually, whose samadhi is there. He is actually from this Madhva Sampradaya, whose samadhi is there in Andhra Pradesh. Raghavendra Swami. So this Raghavendra Swami you might be knowing. Previously also we have discussed. Raghavendra Swami is, samadhi is there, and when the Britishers they passed, the judgment that actually anybody who has property more than this particular area, and he doesn't have claim to it, then this property will be taken away. So then Raghavendra Swami's, this particular area was also supposed to be taken by the Britishers, but then when they came, actually the person who was in charge of that, he goes to the samadhi, and then they say that actually Raghavendra Swami is the in charge, or he the owner of this place. You have to ask him. Then they said, anyway he's dead, gone. Why you have to ask him? But the British person had little faith, so he removes his shoes, hat, and things like that, and he goes and speaks to Raghavendra Swami. And Raghavendra Swami out of his samadhi appears and he speaks to him. So this is the reciprocation of faith. Anybody who has faith, actually the Lord and his devotees will reciprocate like that. And then he said that actually there is a clause in your this particular rule, that in case if the land is used for spiritual activities or propagating religious activities, then it cannot be taken away. Then he understood, yeah, correct, what you are saying, that is true only. So that is why actually even the Britishers also, they also knew that actually we should not unnecessarily abduct the property of the Brahmanas like that. So that is one lesson that we learned. Second lesson that we learned is that actually pride leads to fall down actually. So this Jamadagni was so powerful that when Ravana came to fight with him, he was having nice sporting pastime in the Narmada river, and with 1,000 arms actually he stopped the flow of Narmada river, and then suddenly he left. So Ravana was there and suddenly water was not there. At once water came and it was flooding in the entire area. So Ravana becomes disturbed. And then he goes and fights with this Kartiviri Arjun. So Kartiviri Arjun takes him, with his, one of the arms and keeps him backside of the arm like a monkey. Then it goes and ties him actually back of the house in his entire, kingdom. And Ravana was, tied for many years. Then, Pulastya Rishi, he comes and he says that, free Ravana back. So then, knowing that actually Pulastya Rishi is a very powerful sage and he'll give me some benediction if I free Ravana. So then he frees Ravana and he makes friendship with Ravana. Now just imagine, just understand, this is the nature of selfish people. For selfish purpose, they are making friendship with each other actually like that. So for sense gratification, people may come together, but it is never, long lasting, and it will not bring anything good for people in general. That is what we see even in the scriptures also. Like we see the pastime of Karna and Duryodhan. Karna and Duryodhan, both of them, they also came together and collaborated. For what? See, for Duryodhana, the sense gratification or his aim was to conquer over the army or the place of Yudhishthira Maharaj. And for Karna, what was sense gratification? See, if he wanted, he would have become king just by joining the hand of Pandavas when Krishna gave him offer. But for him, the greater sense gratification was that he should be declared better than Arjun. Somehow or other. That was his, motive. That he should be declared better than Arjun. That is why he said that I will not fight even till the time, Bhishma Pitama is there actually. Just imagine what kind of friendship he is. He is having with Karna. And many times people say that for friendship he did this. In case for friendship he did, then why he did not fight? He was not doing all this for friendship actually. For personal sense gratification he was doing. Like that, Kartiviri Arjun and Ravana actually, both of them also became very good friends. Even though Kartiviri Arjun, tied, Ravana like that. Like that we see even in modern day politicians also, sometimes two parties they fight with, opposing each other, but then they come together with each other only, just to, defeat with somebody else and things like that. So, and their relationship is never like selfless. Okay, selflessly I am doing something for you. As soon as their sense gratification or their, power is getting reduced, they will, remove the power like that. And the other fellow is left like that. Like, I see, when I was there in Rajasthan actually, I come from a district called, Sikar. Now, Sikar is next to Kota actually, very famous for all coaching institutes. So, there were, there was one coaching institute called Guru Kripa. Very famous coaching institute actually. Thousands and thousands of students, they come for coaching for NEET and JEE both. But there were two famous teachers, both for physics and chemistry. So this chemistry teacher actually got out and then he started his own separate institute. CICI, something like that. So he started his separate institute. Now this fellow became very insecure and he said, goons and everybody to kill that particular person actually like that. Then, he, employed police and, some other people and then he filed a case. The case is still going on. Now both of them are actually trying to fight with each other and try to just destroy the name of each other like that. At one point of time, for sense gratification of just acquiring name, fame and money and things like that, they came together and they became very famous. But, as soon as they got separated, actually they are ready to kill each other. That is the nature of the material world actually like that. So people for sense gratification, they may come together, but it will not last and it will not be selfless actually. Whereas people for selfless service, if they come together, then, that is long lasting. And that is what we see in the scriptures actually. That those who are selflessly coming to serve the mission of, the Lord in this world, then in case if their sense gratification is hampered, even then also they will continue serving. Like the Pandavas, their sense gratification was hampered. They were not kings for many years. But still they were ready to serve the Lord whatever way, the Lord was wanting to them. The Lord told them that, you should keep quiet, whenever, Duryodhana and party they say, or you be happy with just 5 villages also. And then we are saying, okay, no problem, we will be happy with 5 villages because Lord Janardana is saying. And as soon as Lord Krishna left, that was the last day, Yudhishthira Maharaj got to know that Lord Krishna has left. Immediately, he did not ask his wife, he did not ask his, brothers, he did not ask anybody. Immediately, he just wore white, wore white, dhoti, not even upper cloth also, and immediately left his kingdom, to the north. So that is the nature of devotees who are trying to serve the Lord selflessly, actually, like that. So, we should be having, determination to serve selflessly actually. When we try to serve selflessly, it requires determination because again and again those anarthas will creep in And those anarthas will say that, why am I doing these things? People are not, ready to cooperate with me. People are not ready to glorify me. People are not ready to do something for me. So for this, I have made a acronym actually called desire. So there is a lecture of His Holiness Rannath Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, both. So Srila Prabhupada lecture name is actually Way to Back to Godhead, and Maharaj lecture is, what it takes to go back home, back to Godhead, like that. So in that actually both of them, they say same thing only, that what it takes, for a living entity to go back home, back to Godhead, is to give up this, mentality of showing off in the universe and having this desire of selflessly serving the Lord and His mission, like that. So there is a, Prabhupada says what it takes for a living entity to go back home, back to Godhead is just one thing. What is that? Desire. He should intensely desire actually, like that. So if we intensely desire to free ourselves from anarthas, actually the Lord will really help. So that is why Lord says, Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. I will give you the intelligence, or I will give the intelligence by which they can come to me. So, Prabhupada writes in the preface or in the introduction of Nectar of Instructions that anybody who is willing to follow or who is willing to, cultivate these good activities, then he should cultivate mode of goodness, following the footsteps of Rupa and Raghunath. Then the Lord will reveal whatever is required for one, to progress or to make, progress further ahead in his journey back home, back to Godhead. So anybody who is willing to follow or who is willing to give up all the anarthas, he should desire actually to follow the footsteps of Rupa and Raghunath. So this desire, I have made one, this acronym. So these are the things that are required for one to go back home, back to Godhead. After hearing these two lectures, I made small notes. So D refers to determination. So one should have determination, to practice these things. It requires determination to practice selfless service. Otherwise, in the world of selfishness, actually people will torment us like anything. It requires great determination to go ahead in one's life. Like for Grahasthas, the envy will come up that, why are you wasting your so much time early in the morning, doing chanting, this, that and everything like that. Why don't you work extra time and, earn extra salary or earn extra money like that, So one should be determined that actually just money will not be, of use for one's existence actually, like that. So we see in the scriptures, the example is given of Chataka bird actually. So the Chataka bird waits, for the water that is, coming of the rain in the Swati Nakshatra actually. It doesn't drink any water that is given on the, or that is there on the ponds or anywhere else actually. It waits for that particular water because that is the most purified water, and few droplets of that water is enough for the Chataka bird to go for a year together, like that. So like that, a devotee also will not go for sense gratification of this material world. He will wait for the higher taste that actually Lord gives, when a devotee serves him, selflessly. Then we see in the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj also, that how he was also determined actually, to follow the vows that, or the determination that he has taken, by following the instructions of Narad Muni. So D refers to determination, then E refers to enthusiasm and faith. So one should be enthusiastic, at the same time one should have innocent faith like a child. One should not be childish, but one should have innocent faith like child. So Krishna consciousness is a desire fulfilling tree. In ISKCON people want politics, that is also there. In case people want to have some business, that is also there. But in case somebody wants pure devotional service, that is also there actually in Krishna consciousness. Like, so there is a story that one small child was there actually, and he used to go the other side of the forest actually in the school. And the mother, he would say that, mother, I will be fearful. Then mother said, you call your brother, no, Lord Ram, he is your brother, all the time he will be there to help you. So when he will be crossing the forest, actually he will be innocently calling out for Lord Ram. And Lord Ram will appear and he will go with him actually to, take him to the other side of the school actually. So this child had innocent faith actually on Lord Ram, because mother had said Lord Ram is there, like that. So one day actually, final day when they were passing out, the Guruji said, okay, get me the Guru Dakshina. And he did not have anything. While going, he remembered that actually I don't have anything to give, Guru Dakshina to the Guru. And Lord Ram, he asked his friend or his brother, Lord Ram. And Lord Ram gave him, the sweet rice. And he took that, special sweet rice to the Guruji. And Guruji said, where is this from? This cannot be of this universe. Where you got from, this? He said, I gave, my brother gave me. My brother Ram gave me. And he said, who is your brother? Can you please show me? Then Guruji goes and, he tries seeing the, brother. But he was not able to see because he did not have so much faith, on Lord Ram, like that. So one should have innocent faith, and one should be enthusiastic also at the same time actually to serve the mission of the Lord, like that. So next, S refers to service attitude. One should be always, having, desire to serve the devotees and the Lord in some or other way. Like we see the pastime of, Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri was serving his, spiritual master very humbly, towards the end of his life, when his, Madhavendra Puri was not able to go to bathroom and things like that. So that time Ishwarapuri was doing all the menial services of cleaning, the stool, urine and everything of his spiritual master. And the spiritual master blessed him so much so that actually Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became his disciple. On the other hand, the next I in desire, DES, and next I refers to I know syndrome. So this I know syndrome should be given up. So this is a disease. And this disease was having, who was having this disease? Ramachandra Puri. So Ramachandra Puri was thinking that actually I know better than my spiritual master also. So if somebody has this disease of I know better than others, it's a very dangerous disease actually. Sometimes when devotees practice Krishna consciousness, after practicing for few years, they start thinking that I know more slokas, or I can quote better scriptures, or I know more pastimes from here and there, everything. And sometimes the senior devotee, they are telling something, then they say that I know better than him. So this I know better than others, or I know syndrome is very dangerous syndrome actually. So that, it is the, such a disease that actually it is like equivalent to, digging one's own graveyard and then falling that and then inviting others, please put more sand on me. So when I was there actually in voice days, I was made so-called, service, there is something called as internal manager in the voice, who assigns all the services in the voice. So during those days in NITK actually we had around 33 inmates. And I was the one who was assigned that service of allotting services to all the different devotees. So within a week, my authorities, they got to know, my lord, this fellow will be troubling everybody, and they changed me actually. Because my seniors, they were also there, and I told them, you are supposed to do this seva. So one of the senior, he said me some concerns that I cannot do this. Then I wrote a big message to him on service attitude, that what is the attitude of servitude that one should be having, like that. So then, there was a big meeting, and then, they called me and then they said that, Prabhu, you are digging your own graveyard, and we don't want you to fall into that and invite others to put more sand on you and, die in Krishna consciousness. So that is why we are changing this service. You'll be happy, handling things in the college only. So somehow by the, desire of the devotees, actually I was saved. Otherwise, this is a very dangerous, disease of I know syndrome, or I know better than others. And that is what we see, ego trips also, people, having ego trips, that I know better than others, or I know syndrome also. Very dangerous thing like that, Next one, R refers to respectful dealings. So respectful dealings with Vaishnavas, respectful dealings with outsiders also. One should not offend anybody actually. One should have respectful dealings with everybody actually. Both with younger devotees also, seniors also, equals also, outsiders also. One should be having respectful dealings. Then the mind will not be agitated actually. Then one will be peaceful in one's mind. Next one, E refers to envy should be given up. So that we see in the pastime of Prithu Maharaj, how Prithu Maharaj, when Lord Brahma came and told him that, please you stop, the 100th yajna, Indra is simply envious of you, you stop it. So Prithu Maharaj said, okay, no problem, I'll stop it. So there, saying goes like 99 is greater than 100. So when Prithu Maharaj stopped the yajna, actually immediately Lord Vishnu appeared. And Lord Vishnu generally doesn't, put his feet on the ground. But just because Prithu Maharaj was there, he was touching the ground and he was not wanting to go. He was willing, he was thinking to go, but he was not wanting to go away because he was having so much affection for Prithu Maharaj. And Prithu Maharaj he gave up envious nature and he embraced, Indra actually. Just imagine. So that is the nature of, a great devotee. So a great devotee of the Lord, actually he will be ready to give up anything, everything, for the service of the Lord. Like we see in the pastime of, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, when there was some case in, Hyderabad, and the devotees were not cooperating with the police, and the police was creating lot of trouble, and the devotees were not respecting the police people. And when, Maharaj went, immediately, he paid prostrated obeisances to the, policeman. Immediately got up and he said, I am ready to help, I am ready to help. So when the envy is given, and when we have respectful dealings, then actually, the people, outsiders also, their hearts also will be touched. But when we don't have a respectful dealings with outsiders, when we are puffed up thinking that I know better than others, or we are devotees, we are greater than you, you are simply materialistic fellows, suffering or just rotting in the material world, then actually others will not be serious in Krishna consciousness, or they will not become devotees also. But when we have respectful dealings, then people will become devotees also. Like Prabhupada also, he told his disciples, Brahmanand Prabhu and his brother, actually both of them, they got initiated. Prabhupada told, when you go home, when you meet your mother, go and pay Dandavata Pranam to your mother. So mother opened the door and nothing was seen actually. And they were there on the ground because they were paying obeisances. And when she met Prabhupada, she understood that actually Swamiji has taught my sons, how to be respectful towards elders, like that. One should be respectful and one should give up envy. So in conclusion, we discussed today, the pastime of, Parsuram, and how Parsuram actually he destroyed the kingdom of, Kartivirya Arjun, and he freed the entire kingdom of entire earth actually 21 times from Kshatriyas, like that. So from there we'll discuss the lessons. Never abdict the property of a Brahmana, and pride is the cause of fall down. Then we discussed actually how sense gratification, for sense gratification people may come together, but it will not be long lasting. Then we discussed the, pastime or the example of Karna and Duryodhan, and modern day politicians and the coaching institutes. We discussed, the desire, that is what actually is required to go back home, back to Godhead. So D refers to determination, E refers to enthusiasm and faith, S refers to service attitude, I refers to I know syndrome should be given up, and R refers to respectful dealings, and E is we should be given up. So if we have these things, then it is very easy for a living entity or for anybody actually to progress towards Vaikuntha or his journey back home, back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada ki ja. Okay. So I know yesterday was Ekadashi and I don't want to take more time. So any questions or comments, anybody? I think devotees are hungry. Yes, please. So technically the difference is when he comes as Satyaves avatar, he will show only one particular potency. Like Parsuram, he showed only one potency. What is that? Samar Shakti. He is just destroyed. Like that. But if you see Lord Ram, he is Vishnu himself, but what all things he did. He not only just freed the earth from the demons and things like that, but he also propagated, like he made friendship with the monkeys and like that. So Vatsalya Bhava also he has shown like that. So many other dealings also they will do. But Parsuram just showing only one particular potency of destroying the demons or destroying the Kshatriyas or the corrupted Kshatriyas actually, like that. See, this is a pastime, we cannot compare unnecessarily. Like both are same only. We cannot compare. Sometimes we hear the pastime, that Narsingh Dev also was having the desire to see the Ras Leela. Now, Narsingh Dev is Krishna only. And when he is there also, that time the gopis are also coming and they are saying that have you seen Krishna and things like that. So, he is same only, but it is a pastime, actually, like that. So, I don't know the intricate details, what you are saying that, position and things like that. But I cannot comment on that, but it is pastime basically, that is what I can understand. It is same only, same Lord Vishnu only is appearing as Lord Rama or Lord Parsuram. Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am.
My question is that the central of this thing, like how to take care of seniors and all things, I think it appears very complex to me.
What?
For example, how to deal with, as you said in your example, how to deal with seniors and all the respects, there are various points. So many points that actually it's become very complex for me. So can you simplify it in some drugs so that we can always remember it and apply it and always that situation we can handle it nicely. So many points where it becomes very complex.
So simple thing is being respectful. Suppose you want to say something for no also, respectfully you can say no. See, there is a way to say no in a way that you may disrespect the other person, or there is a way to say no that you can respectfully say. So while dealing with seniors, equals and others, actually, one should be respectful. How one can be respectful? It depends on case to case, and that particular case study we can take and discuss personally. But in general, one should be respectful. For example, let us say the devotee is assigning you that tomorrow morning your Prabhu, you have Guru Puja and this thing and all those things like that. And worship of Prabhupada and Tulsi worship and things like that. But you have made up your mind that you should get up early morning and you want to chant extra rounds or Ekadashi is there, 64 rounds and things like that. You may be having like that, mind. So you can go and directly say, no, Prabhu, not possible. That is one way of saying. Another way is you may say that, Prabhu, I would really love to do this, but I have planned these things. Now, whatever you say, I will do that, but it will be nice if I can, complete my vow. Already I have taken a vow of completing these many rounds and morning these many rounds. Then he will say, and instead of tomorrow, can I do day after tomorrow? So then he'll be happy, okay, day after tomorrow he will do, not a problem, like that. Instead of direct saying no and things like that. So there are hundreds and thousands of ways that how we are supposed to deal with the devotees and how we should say respectfully no also. In case you do not want to do something. So generally the tussle between the devotees comes when we are there with each other. The false ego has to get purified. That is the purpose actually we are staying in the association of devotees. Like senses will get purified by engaging one in services. The intelligence will get purified by reading scriptures. The mind will get purified by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And so mind, intelligence, ego will get purified by association of devotees. So when we are there in the association of devotees, you might be knowing, when they make diamond, how they make diamond? They'll put all the diamond and then they'll put into that chakri. It'll keep rotating. So all the star pages actually they hit each other and then it becomes very smooth. Like that. So when we are there in the association of devotees, we have star pages, different like this. And when we come with, devotees, it hits. And sometimes it hurts also. Many times it hurts. But the situation is that actually that is the way actually we can get purified, and that is actually safer zone for us. Otherwise, like you see, when our Bharat Maharaj was there, he was alone doing his bhajan, but then he got he fell down actually, becoming deer, and 3 lifetimes he has to wait. So the solution there the Acharya has recommended is actually association of devotees. So the association of devotees is the savior. That is what we sang in the beginning of this, class also. That how one should be respectful. So this Devkinandan Das Thakur actually previously he was the one who offended Srivas Thakur. And the devotees, Srivas Thakur was there in his Bhagavatam class and he went into ecstasy and his disciples they took him and threw him out. So then later on actually he served, Vakreshwar Pandit, when he was dancing, he was protecting them and things like that. Then he begged for the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that's how then eventually he becomes Devkinandan Das Thakur. And he is, what kind of desires he is having, like that. So one thing is being respectful. Another thing is actually, one should be cautious of one's desires. What kind of desire we are cultivating? Are we cultivating the desire of having more respect for myself or for others? Or name and fame? Or are we having the desire to cultivate the Vaishnava qualities? So these two things help me in my life, and you can ask other senior devotees also, they will help you better than me. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So prasadam for all the devotees there in the ground floor. Devotees can proceed for prasadam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So let us thank our dear Dinesh Prabhu taking out his valuable time and describing so nicely the pastime of Parshuram with so many examples, personal experiences and so many vital lessons. Let us thank him by one time loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Devotees can proceed for prasad.